Welcome back to Nightly Nonsense, where we make some sense out of nonsense. Challenged you last time. Are you willing to give up and make the ultimate sacrifice? Tonight, I want you to just think about this. So, I think this will be short in nature, but every time I say that, it's not. I want you to think about Memorial Day from this perspective, right? What do we want to be remembered for? Again, the people who have given their lives for our country, right? They didn't sit around thinking, "Hey, I'm going to go lose my life today, and here's all the things that I want." Right? They made a choice that said, "Listen, if I perish, I perish." Right? A little Queen Esther talk right there, right? She didn't set up to want to go save her people. That's not what happened in the story of Esther. She didn't sign up for a beauty pageant because she knew it was going to save her people. But when it really got down to it and there was an opportunity for her to save her people, her whole mindset was, if I perish, I perish. I'm going to go do what was right. It's our military men and women. Right? They go out and they say, listen, I'm going to do what's right. I'm going to do what I'm asked to do. I'm going to follow my orders. And if I perish, I perish. Right? Again, there is something about wanting and being willing to pay the ultimate sacrifice. I'm willing to do that. I know what I'm signing up for. It's a totally different thing to actually do that. To actually put yourself in a place where that would be true. Do you go to work every single day going, if I perish today at work, I perish? I'm not talking about physical death necessarily. I'm talking about all the other things. Do you go to work anticipating, I'm going to tell people about Jesus today, given the opportunity, and if I perish, I perish? I'm gonna make a stand, do what's right, be righteous at home, at work, at play, at church, and if I perish, I perish. You know that even at church now, it's becoming more prevalent. You may have to make a stand. You may have to make a stand against what you believe is righteousness, right living according to God. You may have to say, hey, listen, I can't do this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to promote this. I'm not going to teach our kids this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to partake in this. I'm going to partake in right living. And you know what? If I perish, I perish. How many people go to church on a Sunday morning thinking, if I perish, I perish? This is a fundamental concept to Memorial Day. Memorial Day is set up on the foundation of, if I perish, I perish. I'm going to do what's right today. I'm going to do what's right to the best of my ability. Are you going to do that perfectly all the time? Absolutely not. Right? Are you going to make mistakes? Yes. Are there things that you're going to think are right and it turns out they weren't necessarily right, maybe not wrong, they just weren't right. Right? Application, mistakenly done. Right? There's a whole bunch of things in this whole thing that trying to pry your mind open to start thinking about. Right? Say, well, Andy, isn't if I perish, I perish the same thing as paying the ultimate sacrifice? No, paying the ultimate sacrifice is, I know that this is going to cost me my life. This may cost me my life. Right? If I perish, I perish happens from moment to moment. You have to make the decision. I'm going to do what's right in this moment. And if I perish, I perish. I'm not talking about just physical death. I'm talking about all the other stuff. People might not like me anymore. I might lose finances, might lose this, might lose promotion, might lose a bunch of stuff. I mean, we tend to think the right thing to do is take care of my family. So if I'm sitting in front of my boss and he's ready to offer me a promotion that would take care of my family, better pay my kids college, do all of these things, and he asks me to do something that's wrong in nature, well, first I got to be submissive. Second, I got to take care of my family, right? Those are the things that trump. No, what still trumps in that moment is, I'm going to do the right thing, not according to me, according to Jesus. So that means I'm also going to have to look to Jesus. I'm also going to have to talk to Jesus. I'm also going to have to ask Jesus, what do you have for me in this moment? And when he gives you your marching orders, it might not be to pay the ultimate sacrifice, but you might perish. You might lose your reputation. Right? I think sometimes we forget that Jesus died with a terrible reputation, a common criminal. Right? Worse than a common criminal. Jesus didn't protect his reputation. he protected righteousness. He did what was right. And if he perished, he perished. And he did give up and was the ultimate sacrifice for us. So this Memorial Day, I want you to think about that. Are you willing to give up and be the ultimate sacrifice? Right? Is that what you're willing to do? But from a moment to moment standpoint, all right, can you answer the question, if I perish, I perish, with a, yeah, that's how I live my life. I just want to do what's right, moment to moment with Jesus. So that's a lot to chew on. You chew on that. We'll come back next time right here, Nightly Nonsense.